I started off already upset with you.
Why?
Because you don't live here and you can't help me move all these books. And then you show up with an outshine bar in your gob and you don't live here and I can't get a bite. What flavor is that?
Strawberry. It's delicious.
Ah, come on.
I wouldn't help you carry the books if I was there.
Would you give me a bite of your outshine bar?
No, because the way that you say, I'm going to take a bite of your outshine bar means you're going to eat half of it. Because you take ginormous bites.
Listen, Pop Pop needs a treat.
Pop Pop needs fewer books, it looks like.
I'm mad at you. Welcome back to Talking Story. My name is John Minton. That right there with the outshine bar in his gob is the boy wonder to my BookTube Batman, my literary wingman.
The sweet man.
the sweet man. Don't start that. I don't think you want that nickname.
No.
The sweet man of BookTube.
No, I don't want that.
No, that doesn't have a ring to it at all, man.
It does not. Although, really quickly,
you know what? I got
go
water.
ahead.
I got water.
You don't even have a frosty beverage. It's just water.
Well, that's cold water.
That doesn't count.
I'm trying to hydrate. I lifted a lot of books.
Before you get into all the books,
yeah,
you got this month. I have a small surprise for you.
I'm already
halfway
surprised.
through.
Get out of town!
It's great, man. It's not what I expected.
I was gonna say, if you're halfway through, you must dig it.
Some things have happened. For those that have not read it, I won't say, but some things have happened that I was not prepared for.
Wow, that is why they call you the sweet man of BookTube. That sums that you know how to sum up a book. You know how to sum up a book. Some things have happened.
Well, I don't want to spoil anything. There's like a pretty huge gear shift in the book that
it shifts into some supernatural stuff. It gets cool.
Yeah, it gets really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm really glad you're digging it. Book 2 is even better.
Sweet. Well, thanks to Josh for sending it to us.
Absolutely. Again, thanks for Josh. And Josh, you know what? This is what we're here today. We're going to do a good old-fashioned book haul because we got folks like Josh, a big stack of people here that have sent us things, and we want to take this time to thank each and every one of them. We've got authors and publishers and just friends of the channel, and also I what can I say? I got a little bonus at work in the form of some gift cards.
You bought some things, didn't you?
I bought some things.
How many things?
Let's just say things.
That doesn't sound good.
There's no reason to keep a running tally and embarrass anybody, namely me. There's no reason for that.
You brought it up.
There's absolutely no reason for that. But look, this is so amazing to me that people out there would read something and enjoy a story and take it in and be moved by it and go, you know what? I really want to share this with the people at Talking Story. I'm going to go ahead and send something to them. The sharing of story is just absolutely magic, and I cannot thank everybody enough that sent us something. So we're going to go book by book, and we're going to go through some stacks here for publishers, authors, friends of the channel, everyone that sent us things, and we're going to get some big thank yous out there to people just like Josh that have sent stuff to us in the past.
Absolutely. It looks like you got a lot of stuff sent to you, so you got a lot of things to put out.
We got a lot of thanks to put out, and you know me, I'm not good with the technology, so I broke out the big pen and the Big Chief tablet, and I started writing thank you notes.
Did you really?
No. I do this, but if I was going to thank anybody, I would use a big pen and a Big Chief tablet.
I know you would, and they'd receive a letter in the mail that would probably get lost.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I really want to outshine bar now. All right, let's get rolling. There's no better person to start with than our brother in the north, Brian at BellTube, sent us Kill the Dead by Richard Kadri. This is book 2 of the Sandman Slim series. We had kind of like a great time. We did like a A bromance talk about heroes here on the channel. I sent him the first Joe Ledger novel. He sent me the first Sandman Slim novel. We had such a great time talking about heroes and anti-heroes and series that we love. And then he just turned right around and sent me book 2 of the series that I had started that he sent me that I enjoyed so much. And man, come on. James Stark crawled out of hell to avenge his girlfriend's murder and save the world along the way.
Brian's too nice.
Who wouldn't want to read that? I gotta give a big shout out and thank you to Brian, the nicest guy in the North. Nicest guy in the North, and my brother that just got left off at the fire station up there. And I don't know how he got so far north, but just amazingly kind to send this to me. And I am going to get back to this series as quickly as I possibly can. I really, really appreciate this, Brian. Thank you so much. I really did love the first one.
He's the sweet man.
He is the sweet man of book 2.
He is.
Now, it fits him. You not so much.
No, it fits Brian much more than me.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that out loud. You not so much.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, you're welcome. Outshine bar eater in front of person. Hey, look at this. This is Augustus by John Williams. This won the National Book Award. This is John Williams recreates the Roman Empire from the death of Julius Caesar to the last days of Augustus. This is supposed to be amazing. I hear nothing but amazing things about this. So many people's very favorite historical novel. I was such a huge fan of I, Claudius, the old Derek Jacobi show. When your mom and I were first getting together, we were going through and watching every episode. So I think I'm just going to eat this up like candy. I cannot wait to get started. And I have to give a very, very, very special shout out to Evie from She Was Only. Evie sent this to me with such a nice note about sharing a birthday month with me. And this was just so kind of her to send. I cannot wait to start this. This is going to be straight up my alley. I really cannot wait to get into this. Evie, thank you so much. Very, very, very kind of you to do that. And very, very happy birthday to you too, sharing a birthday month. Fellow Virgo, I bet.
Oh, really? Happy birthday to Evie.
I mean, sharing the same birthday month, so, you know.
Sure. Got to be in there somewhere.
Got to be in there somewhere. So, hey, let's get into some publishers that send us stuff. I still cannot get over that publishers actually send us stuff.
That's a wild sentence.
I mean, if they, right? Like, if they could see us talking about books with you with an outshine bar up your face, I mean...
They'd ask for the books back.
They absolutely would ask for the books back. Oh, this is a great one. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, Andrea Stewart's The Gods Below. This starts her new series. I was so sad I haven't gotten to Bone Shard Daughter. I really wanted to catch up with that trilogy, but I definitely want to start with this all new one. I mean, from one of the biggest new stars in epic fantasy comes a sweeping tale of warring gods, loyalty, betrayal, and a world in turmoil. Andrea Stewart's The Gods Below. And can you believe this? Orbit Books actually sent me an uncorrected proof of this book.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazingly cool. I cannot wait to get into this new series from Andrea Stewart. I've got book 1 of Bone Shard Daughter on the shelf. I kind of always wanted to catch up, but this way I can kind of be up to date with everybody else, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to be reading this as it comes out. And I do believe this has a September release date, so it will be coming out this month. So I'm going to try and get to this as quickly as I possibly can. And a huge, huge thank you to Orbit Books for sending this.
That's gorgeous. Look at that cover.
Isn't that cool?
It is.
This is also from Orbit Books.
Oh, and wow.
When you hear what this is about, you're going to know why I wanted to get this in my hands. This is K.M. Enright's The Mistress of Lies. Check this out. A villainous heroine finds herself plunged into a seductive world of power, politics, and murder in the court of the Vampire King in this bloodthirsty debut from an unmissable new voice in fantasy romance. I've been wanting to get some fantasy romance up in here because I'm an old softie. I love a romance, and if there's one thing I love even more than a romance, it's frickin' vampires. And this is all in one book. It seems like it's perfect for me. I can't wait to get into this. Thank you again so much for Orbit Books to send this to me. I really look forward to it. I look forward to it because it's a debut novel. It's an all-new voice out there in the fantasy romance area. And K.M. Enright, the Mistress of Lies. Hopefully I can pick this up very, very quickly because it sounds great.
It does.
Yeah, heck yeah. And then already read this one. Big thank you and shout out goes to Harper Voyager that sent this to me. Raymond E. Feist's new book, A Darkness Returns. This is book 1 in the Dragon War saga. I used to run to the bookstore when his Rift War stuff was coming out in the 80s to get that new Rift War book. The second trilogy, the Empire trilogy that he wrote with Jenny Wirtz, I just did a reread of last year, and it just brought so much good feelings and nostalgia back and just reminded me of what an amazing world he created and what an amazing writer Jenny Wirtz is, along with Raymond E. Feist. And it caused us to branch outward and actually get to meet Jenny Wirtz, and we're going to start her massive series coming up in January. And I kind of want to go back and reread a bunch of this Raymond E. Feist stuff because we read this, gave kind of a whole breakdown in our last Sunday Weekly Reader. And hey, this is some cool stuff, man. He has so many books in the Rift War saga. And then after that, he's got a trilogy called the Fire Main saga. Everyone thought these are completely separate worlds. No, the Dragon War saga brings these two worlds together in a multiversal story. It is so cool. There's so much interesting cosmology in this of how it all fits together. And I really want to go back and read the Fire Main trilogy before I get to book 2 because I was so thrilled to see some of my old favorite characters from the old Rift War saga, but I didn't have the shorthand of some of these new characters from the Fire Main trilogy, Dante and Hava and Hatu and Declan and all these characters that I was really getting into their story here. I didn't have all the backstory that I wanted, so I didn't quite get all the gut punch of emotions I think I could have. So I'm definitely going to go back and read that trilogy. But hey, if you're up to date, if you're not up to date, I don't know if this is a great starting place. I would say go back and start at the beginning of Raymond E. Feist, Rift War and Firebane, and then get to this. It seems like this is going to be him bringing all the threads together that he's worked on into this huge magnum opus of a story of finally coming to terms with this darkness that keeps rearing its head in his stories. So this, a lot of fun. We already read it. Check out the past Sunday Weekly Reader if you want all of our thoughts on it. But thank you again so much for Harper Voyager to send me this. Such nostalgia, so much fun to get a Raymond E. Feist book from the publisher. It just really made me feel amazing, and I thank you so much for sending it.
And the TBR grows. Now you got to read all the Fire Main stuff.
I know. Luckily, it's not like Rift War with just like, I don't know, 30 books. Luckily it's just a trilogy.
Oh, good. Okay. Great.
So, yeah. So I can relax there. Let's get into some stuff, some actual authors sent to me. These are some indie authors, I believe, living out their dreams, because to not find the chair and write that day and to not get their work out there and find an audience would be them looking at themselves in the mirror and lying to themselves, not living their artistic dreams. And I love this indie published movement. I'd read at least one a month. And I really have to send a big thank you and a shout out to all these indie authors that sent me some stuff. Let's get started right away with Dirk Strasser, Conquest. This looks extremely interesting. Love the cover on this. And if I could just read a little bit. Captain... Hey, let me put my glasses on because I'm old.
That might help.
Yeah, what do you think about that? Yeah. Capitan Cristobal de Vargas' drive for glory and gold in 1538 Peru leads him and his army of conquistadors into a new world that refuses to be conquered. He is a man torn by lifelong obsessions and knows that this is his last campaign. And it goes on from there. I cannot wait to... I think this goes into some fantasy along with the conquistadors. And he reached out to me and told me kind of what this was about. And it's like, oh, absolutely. That sounds like my bag for sure. And he was so nice enough to drop a copy to me. So thank you so much, Dirk Strasser, for this Conquest right here. I really do appreciate it. And then... I have been wanting to get into this writer for a while. J.C. Imburn, you are such an awesome, awesome guy. Look at this. Sent me a fistful of books. First of all, I've got the first 2 Turn 1 of the Hybrid Helix, Wistful Ascending by J.C.M. Byrne, and Turn 2 of the Hybrid Helix, Return of the Griffin by J.C.M. Byrne. These are the first 2 books. He sent them to me in hardcover. The nicest guy.
Wow. Okay.
These are the first 2 books, the first 2 turns of the Hybrid Helix. This is kind of like action, adventure, comic stories mashed in with a space opera. How could anything be more perfect for me? My love of comics, my love of sci-fi, my love of space operas. J.C.M. Byrne's like, you know what? I'm not going to help you with that TBR stack. I'm going to send you some stuff because you haven't got into my stuff yet. And I had already had it on my wish list. I already wanted to get into it. I've heard so many amazing things from so many people about this. So I hope to pick this up so quickly. And it's like, I think, look at this cover. I think we got cybernetic sharks.
Is that what that is?
I think we've got, look, I haven't read this yet. This could be sharks with lasers.
Doesn't get better than that.
How freaking cool is that? Sharks with, yeah,
don't do
all
that,
right, I won't. I won't. But it's very tempting. Come on, look at that cover. These look amazing. This is going to scratch my comic love itch like nothing I've read in prose before, I have a feeling. And then he sent me, I think this is the beginning of his new series. I don't know if this is a one-shot or is this like a beginning of a new series as well. I think it's a series because, anyway, it's called Partial Function by J.C.M. Byrne. I don't know as much about this one, but I mean, it's got magic and dinosaurs on the cover. Let me get a taste of this here. Akina Asur, the Spiral Witch, Monster Hunter, Grandmaster of Infinity Bagua, and owner of the most powerful weapon in the martial world, has retired to a peaceful life in the South. Some members of the martial world want that weapon back, both for its power and to use it against a swarm of mutated, undead dinosaurs that threaten every human life in their world. I'm already sold.
That also sounds like your jam.
That also sounds exactly. I think J.C.M. Byrne is writing just for me.
Probably.
Yeah. So I thank you so much, J.C.M., for sending these to me. You're an extremely, apparently very talented and kind man. And I look forward to getting into all of these. And then I was sent, we have here, Livia J. Elliott's The Genesis of Change. And this is the Records of the Orders, a prequel novella. And I love a novella because I can slide those in sometimes when I just have a little bit of extra time. So I can get a taste of kind of what this is, what this whole thing is about. The Genesis of Change captures the challenges and strengths of humanity, weaving a story through elegant prose, philosophical consideration, and a rich, vivid fantasy world where the divine can touch the imperfect and teach them what they truly are. That sounds kind of deep.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds really good. A really pretty cover as well. So, Olivia J. Elliott, thank you so much. And I maybe can slide that in because, again, it's a little bit shorter. And she sent me a lovely note and bookmarks and all kinds of things there as well. So, hey, I got two. This is KJ Ryall. Now, he had already sent me this, and this book sounds extremely interesting to me. Warp Asylum by KJ Ryall. He also sent me a nice little letter in here, and he had already sent me an edition of this, but I think he has kind of gotten a rewrite of it, and he says this is like kind of the complete and author preferred edition, so he just wanted to send this out to me, and he likes the cover on this one a little bit more. It says it has more of the feel of what's going on there.
I love
and he
that
watched,
cover.
Isn't that the coolest?
Yeah.
And he did send me a magnet with the first one, which I proudly sport on my fridge. So we got you on the fridge, KJ. And he also sent me this Low Volume 1, The Delirium of Hope, and this is by Rick Remender. And this looks like I have not read this comic, and he's watched some of this coverage we've done of comics. So he said, hey, you need to check this one out. I'm going to send this to you. This is one of the ones that really kind of is extremely different and out there and kind of mind-blowing and made him think of me when we were covering some comic stuff. So he sent both of these things in the mail for me, his preferred edition and this. And this is his journey fighting a bipolar disorder, how he saw the reality, how reality was, he was a hard time getting through it. and he kind of gets it all out of his system in a book. I really want to get into this. It sounds like just a very brave thing to write about. Bipolar disorder is a chronic mental illness which causes dramatic shifts in a person's mood, energy, and ability to think clearly. The pendulum of bipolar mania can swing from absolute euphoria to utter despair in an instant. And it's about kind of his break with reality and his journey through bipolar mania, I believe. And it's like, what an amazing bit of artistic expression to take that journey and get it on paper.
Yeah, what an awesome way to like channel a personal situation into a creative product. That's really incredible.
Yeah, really exciting and brave. And I really appreciate you sending me the author preferred edition. Thank you so much. Absolutely, KJ, I appreciate that. And look at this. This was such amazing. This is Gregory D. Little, Murder on the Interstellar Express. And this guy, he sent stickers, he sent patches, he sent bookmarks, he sent a lovely note, and he sent, if you want to take notes while you're reading the book, he sent me a pen and a notebook, little journal that
awesome.
I can scribble some thoughts down while I'm reading the book, I guess. And this sounds like it's like if for fans of Agatha Christie and Murderbot, this sounds just great. It sounds like a lot of fun. And I do look forward to getting into this and reading it as well. I've got so much great indie stuff to get to. I might have to up my game. I might have to do more than one a month.
You start doing 2 a month.
I'm not sure. I just have so much amazing stuff that I really do want to try. But in any Gregory D. Little, I do have to just, Belle's lifelong wish was to leave her colony world. She should have been more specific. In the face of an existential threat to her world, an impending alien invasion, Belle Beauregard does something unprecedented. Her job. She's rewarded by being labeled a traitor, sentenced to indentured servitude, and shipped off-world on a half-built colony ship being used as an escape hatch for the rich and powerful. Every single one of these sound absolutely great to me.
Murder on the Interstellar Express sounds like your thing, straight up. No description. That just sounds like your thing.
This just sounds like my thing, right? So, Gregory D. Little, thank you so much for sending that to me. Each and every one of you guys from the bottom, this is just big magic for me. When you want to share your dream, you trying to find an audience, you trying to build an audience and get your artistic expression out there, for you to think of us and to send us your work means a great deal to me. And I want each and every one of you to know that and know that I'm going to do my absolute best to absolutely take a look at each and every one of these things that you've sent me. Now we got a stack of some things that I just had to have.
The rest is what you got?
Yeah.
The stack is just as high.
Okay,
what
first
happened?
Of all, look, I said I got a little bonus and some gift cards, so there's reasons for all of these.
I can't wait to hear it.
First of all, I finally got accepted into Broken Binding subscription service. How freaking awesome is that? There's no way I'm not going to take advantage of that. And they do send out one book a month, wired thereto, because they had a printing problem with the first book of the Greenbone Saga by Fonda Lee, Jade City, and they had to go back and reprint. I think they had a problem with the map, so they actually went to a fold-out map in the back. Because they had a problem printing the map for the first time. So that's why I got 2 in 1 month, because this was a little bit behind schedule. But I finally got in. I got in right when they're starting with Greenbone Saga, which is amazing because I have not read this. So now I'm going to have amazing editions of all 3 of Fonda Lee's amazing fantasy in an organized crime family setting that I've been wanting to get to. These are just absolutely gorgeous. Got the bookmark with them.
Wow, that's beautiful.
The naked covers are absolutely beautiful. I think the dust jackets, a lot of people did not like the dust jacket art. Personally, being that it's kind of in a crime family, I kind of like this action. It's kind of got a pulpy feel for me, like the old pulps of the old real crime pulps. And I kind of dig it. I kind of think I understand what they're trying to do with the art here. And I personally, I don't have a problem with it. Look at these sprayed edges.
That's gorgeous.
I mean, this is just, I don't know which way to have these on my shelf, this way or this way. I think until I read it, I'm going to leave them with this facing out, and as I read them, I'll turn them around. But I mean, just gorgeous additions. I'm so happy. My number finally came up, and I was able to get into the subscription service with Broken Binding. This has the fold-out map, as I showed you before. So I'm just absolutely thrilled. And because this was a little bit of a month behind, I had 2 in the same month. Book 2, Jade War. Look at that.
That's
again.
So pretty.
Isn't that just gorgeous?
I don't have a problem with that cover. That's amazing.
I think the style, again, harkens back for me of like that true crime pulp feel. I can't wait to read this and see how they do. But look, I mean, just look at this art. Look at this insert art.
Jeez. That's incredible. Again, I see nothing wrong with that.
We got sprayed edges all the way around. And I am going to read these sooner than later. These were on my list to read anyway, but now having editions that look like this that I can pick up and read, absolutely going to accelerate me to get into Fonda Lee's amazing trilogy that I hear nothing but great things about. So excited to be. So come on, you can't fault me for that.
No, I can't fault you for that at all.
I've been trying to, and you know, the price is right on these gorgeous editions. You know, the shipping is kind of harsh because it comes from the UK, but these are not crazy expensive for editions that look like this. They really do an amazing thing over there at Broken Binding. I know I believe it's a part of Golanx over in the UK. And I'm so happy to start to get some of these in. And look, I had to get this. This is book 3 in Richard Swann's trilogy that I hear nothing but amazing things about. This is the Trials of Empire by Richard Swann. I have books 1, I have book 2. Book 1 just won the Patreon read. So I'm going to be reading that this month. So I needed to have book 3 because I think if I love it as much as I think I'm going to love it, I'm going to want books 2 and 3 on tap pretty quickly. And I think I'm going to love it that much because these amazing people right here tell me I'm going to love it that much. And let me tell you, they're very rarely wrong about what I like. These are our patrons over at Patreon. They do all the voting for our Patreon read once a month. They help us keep the lights on. They make decisions for the channel because we're not very good at it.
Horrible at it.
Oh, we would drive this thing right into a ditch.
And we almost have.
In no time. I mean, in no time flat. And they all the way up to taking over this channel and getting their content on this channel. If you're interested, you want to find out more about it, right down there in the description box, you can click the Patreon link and find out all about it. So you can see why I had to have this.
Yeah.
This is courtroom drama, I think. This is mystery. This is a fantasy setting. This is Lovecraftian elements all the way through this trilogy. Like, come on. I've got to have book 3. Book 1 just won Patreon read. I got to have 2 and 3. There was no way I wasn't going to grab book 3. That had to happen. And a lot of people are very excited about this. I had to grab me this. This is The Mercy of Gods by James S.A. Corey. Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank coming together, the people that wrote the Expanse series. This is the beginning of their new series. I'm behind on the Expanse, but I kind of wanted to be in the beginning of this new series they have coming out. Them working together again and putting something out is very exciting. I've heard kind of mixed things.
Really? Okay.
I've heard people love it. I've heard people not quite connect with it, which makes me hopeful. Because anytime I think I start to hear mixed things, I think, ooh, this is a writer, this is an artist that is stretching themselves and kind of going off into some new territory, maybe trying something new, trying something a little different. And I dig that, baby. That makes me excited. That makes me want to dig my teeth into it. So I kind of even want to read this even more because it's got, some people love it, some people not quite so much, and had to have it.
Well, maybe it'll win another Patreon read. You'll have to pick it up.
There you go, and I'll have it right on my shelf and ready. This one I was told by oh my gosh, one of our friends of the channel, that talks to us says this is an amazing horror read. I love horror reads. We got spooky season coming up. I don't know if I can fit this in for spooky season, but the way they described this was like the best horror read they've done in a long, long time. And I just had to grab it. This is The Hollow Kind by Andy Davidson. And the way they described this to me just really flipped my switch, made me go, yes, that's a read I really need to have. And I what can I say? I sold a little something on Pango. This was on Pango. I could just kind of switch something out. Made perfect sense to me, so I went ahead and got that in. This one I absolutely had to get in because this is one of my favorite writers, Joe R. Lansdale. He had a new Happen Leonard come out called Sugar on the Bones by Joe R. Lansdale. This is his latest Happen Leonard book. I have not missed a Happen Leonard book yet, and I'm not going to start now. So I had to order this in, and no, I think it's got some cover damage, makes me unhappy, but it'll be a fine reading copy, and I'm going to get to this. These read unbelievably quick. Happen Leonard is such an amazing mystery series. The Good Old Boys Happen Leonard, they take me back to my home state of Texas. Whenever I'm just this much homesick, all I have to do is pick up some Joe R. Lansdale, and he transports me immediately with the most perfect vernacular and language, laugh out loud, funny stuff, great characters, amazing mysteries, and I have loved every one of the Happen Leonard books. Some are my all-time favorites. Even ones that don't hit it out of the park are still absolutely just Snicker bar candy fun to read. So there's no way I was not getting the new Happen Leonard. Had to happen.
I guess I'll give that one to you as well.
Had to happen. And look, I started reading some of the comics by Keanu Reeves over, I think it's at Boom Studios. Probably says right here. Boom Studios. Berserker. And he got together, springboarding off of those comics, with China Mieville to write a novelization of kind of what he's building in the comics, the world he's building of the comics with this this immortal, never dying mercenary warrior that just wants to be able to lay down and let his body stop so he can fight, so he can stop fighting endlessly over these thousands of years. And it's like, I like China Mieville. I think Perdido Street Station is one of the most interesting examinations of otherness since, going back to Metamorphosis, Kafka's Metamorphosis for me. So it's like, I gotta see what Keanu Reeves and China Mieville does. And I've ordered in the other comics that I want to read the comics first, but then I want to have this on tap. So as soon as I finish the comics, I can pick this up and get into it because the character I find very appealing and interesting. And I really want to see what China Mieville does with this world and how Keanu Reeves and China Mieville work together. So that was a no-brainer. Had to pick that up.
I don't know if I'll give that one to you, but all right.
Hey, just like this one, I read my first Adrian Tchaikovsky and absolutely loved it. Service Model. I read it last month. And so many of you said, oh, the next one you need to pick up if you enjoy Adrian Tchaikovsky is Cage of Souls. And this sounds so amazing. And I did enjoy Adrian Tchaikovsky so much, and I wanted to pick up another kind of standalone before I get into any of his longer series or trilogies, which he has quite a few of. So I absolutely wanted to bring this in because this is what you guys recommended for me, and you guys are very, very rarely wrong when it comes to knowing exactly what I want to, where I want to go next with a writer. So this is that standalone from Tchaikovsky that, I mean, come on, listen to this. The sun is bloated, diseased, dying perhaps. Beneath its baneful light, Shadrapar, last of all cities, harbors fewer than 100,000 human souls. It is a museum, a midden, an asylum, a prison on a world that is evermore alien to humanity. Come on.
That does sound pretty good.
That sounds amazing. And I have loved my first read of Tchaikovsky, so I had to go with what you guys says was the next one. And last month's book haul was a little bit sad because I ordered the next read in the First Law series that I'm loving so much by Joe Abercrombie, but it had the wrong cover. It didn't match the rest of my books. So, oh, I wish I could remember the names. Someone's reached out and said, hey, you know, this UK store, Blackwell, has this on sale with the exact cover you want. It's got free shipping and it's on sale. So I jumped on it right away and I got a great deal on this with free shipping from the UK to have a cover that matches the rest of my First Law books on the shelf. This is Joe Abercrombie's The Hero. This is the second standalone in the 3 standalones before the Age of Madness trilogy. So you know I had to fix that situation and get the cover that matches the rest of my books. You knew that was coming.
That cover looks so much better.
Doesn't it?
Than the
like
other
the
one.
cover from last month was just, there's not even a comparison.
That's
How
way
much better that is so much better. Yeah. So that had to happen. On sale, free shipping from the UK. No way I couldn't say. And you know how much I loved Robin Hobb.
God, there's more?
You know how much I loved Robin Hobb. And I believe it was Heidi that said to me, hey, there's a novella that fits in, I think, between books 2 and 3 or something in this very first trilogy that you want to grab so you can actually have all of the story. This is The Willful Princess and the Piebald Prince by Robin Hobb, the novella. And I think it's between books 2 and 3 in the Farseer trilogy. But I was so amazed by Assassin's Apprentice. It was my read of the month last month against some amazing stiff competition in Christopher Rocchio and Tori Tekken and some other books that I absolutely loved, but it still took the month for me as my favorite read. So there was no way I was not going to grab the novella that goes along with the first trilogy because I am that completist. I think I want to read everything of the Queen of Fantasy Robin Hobb is going to put out there in this realm of the Elderlings because that first book absolutely blew my hair back. So had to get in this novella.
That's a crazy amount of books, dude.
That's the exact right amount of books.
That is too many. Way too many.
That is, you know what? We're going to turn this over to people that know. Hit us up in the comments and tell us, I think this is the perfect amount of books. I think it's absolutely the exact right amount of books. For, you know what? You have a little bit of a bonus at work. You have a birthday. You have Christmas. What better thing to splurge on than story? To walk in other characters' shoes, a shortcut to compassion and empathy by living all these other lives through story that can so much expand your own life and give you a mirror and reflection to other characters that you can bring into your life and make yourself a better person, understand your world in a better way. There's no better way to use your funny money or money that you can splurge with than story. And I bet you everyone out there is going to hit that comment button and let me know I'm 100% right. Hit us up in comments. We started this channel so we could talk back and forth with everybody that loves books as much as we love books, that love the kind of books that we love. I'm going to answer comments as quickly as humanly possible because it's the whole reason we set up this channel. And hey, while you're down there, right next there, there's that little thumbs up button. Hit that for us. That helps us reach new people. It helps us find new friends. It helps us hang out with a whole bunch of new people and talk about books and how much we love books. So that helps us go. It's all the grease that helps us go. It's a great way to support the channel, and it takes no time. It's like a click. It's over with. And you know, the absolute best way to support this channel, and it's so easy to do, is while you're down there, if you haven't done it yet, you hit the subscription button. Oh, this is huge. It takes no time at all. It's a microsecond. Boop, you're done. You're subscribed. You get to hang out with us all the time. That's every Tuesday and Thursday regular video that we put out there. That's all of our series like Book Club with the Missus, Town Square, Hijack TBR, all the crazy stuff we do here, as well as book hauls and wrap-ups and weekly readers. It's all that stuff, and you get to hang out with us for all of it. It's so easy. And you know what? The amazing thing about it is when you hit that subscription button, we're getting peer review papers written right now
We are not.
We absolutely are. They've reached out. They've told me by PhD candidates, we are getting peer-reviewed papers written that when you hit that subscription button, you will get a tingle.
If anyone sends in a peer-reviewed paper, I'll give it up.
You heard it here. It's gonna happen. We're gonna make it happen. We're going to take the boy wonder. We're gonna pull him across the finish line because that is being done right now. It is, I'm telling you, the peer panel is being put together. PhDs are writing it. We're gonna prove beyond a shadow of a doubt it's science, it's Galileo, it's Copernicus, it's talking story, it's science. You get a tingle when you hit that subscription button. It is coming.
What are you on? What happened to you? There is not water in there.
It is Aquapura. That's what I'm on.
You got a bottle full of Red Bull? Is that what you got?
No, it's just water. I'm just so excited we're finally going to get you across the finish line of admitting that it gives you a tingle.
If we get a peer-reviewed paper, I'll give it up.
Oh, it's going to happen. I have a really good feeling about it.
We'll see.
I got a really good feeling about it. Hey, all right. You know what? I need to go get a juice box and a nap after that. I'm a little
I
bit
think you
worn
did.
out.
You just blew out your energy for tomorrow as well, I think. You need to recoup.
I might need a week off.
Those are some of the biggest hand gestures we've ever seen on this channel, and that's saying something.
Oh, for me, that's a Tuesday.
I don't, well... Maybe.
You know that's true. You know that's true.
I don't know. You were pretty pumped up there. It was a little scary.
I can get pretty pumped up. Well, if I scared anybody, hit that subscription button so you can come around and we'll scare you again. That's kind of it for us. If you're still here after that, if you're still here after those hand gestures, oh my gosh, you got to be book people. And in my book, that makes you the best people. My name is John Minton. That has been
Dr. Jacob.
You know, someday.
No, not someday. No day. The peer-reviewed paper is not coming from me. There's no doctorate coming.
You know what? If it came from you, I wouldn't accept it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. It'll never get written, so you won't have to.
Oh, it's going to get written.
The doctorate's not happening. The
It's
paper's
absolutely going to get written. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been Talking Story.